Ford Chief Alan Mullally drove himself to Capitol Hill in a hybrid car that represents the greatest hope for Detroit's future.
It's great, wonderful vehicle.
But inside, he joined his counterparts from GM and Chrysler in a second day of begging for a $25 billion government loan the three U.S. automakers need just to get to the future.
The industry has a critical need right now.
Our revenue has been devastated.
But auto executives seem to undercut their own pitch when Congress learned they flew separately to Washington on three expensive corporate jets.
It's almost like seeing a guy show up at the soup kitchen in high hat and tuxedo.
What we do in life echoes in eternity.
What's up, TV? It's your boy Archie, and I wanted to come speak to y'all today about some of the symbolism I've been seeing and what I perceive behind their meaning. If you've been tuned into our channel lately, you'll recall us talking in depth about the New Age. Now, we know the New Age is symbolized by the Roman numeral V. It is the sign of Aquarius and the representation of the final age, the last days, or the end of time. This symbolism has been incorporated into a lot of the modern day things we do and or use today and are hidden in plain sight, which we all know is a technique of the Illuminati loves to use to condition us to these symbols and never really think twice or question their meaning. Now, take a look back and y'all see the Illuminati has a history of going after big corporations as well as highly influential people. If they are able to control what you hear from these people's mouths, they can condition you more easily by you taking solace in hearing whatever they choose come from these people's mouths or someone you consider trustworthy in the hopes you won't question it. It works the same way with large corporations. We're aware a handful of people run this world, most of whom are big business owners, whether they're controlled or being voluntarily a part of this secret society, the agenda is the same: world domination. Now, to achieve this goal, in my personal opinion, a financial collapse has to take place. For you see, a financial collapse would basically allow these people to run the world just the way they choose and put everybody in what I call a tier classification, most of whom would be on the lower scale as we struggle to get out of debt and try to maintain a lifestyle that is coherent to what we're used to. Everybody has built themselves up. You know, you're used to a certain lifestyle. Nobody wants to fall behind or below that poverty line. All the while, these other people, they continue to get richer, live more comforted lives, well beyond their actual needs. Nobody wants to be on that low scale or lower tier, yet nobody is impervious to the Illuminati. If they want you, it's an uphill battle. Most, if any, do not win. For this reason, you see, more and more people, as well as corporations, turning over and joining the secret society. Again, the symbolism is in plain sight, y'all. And it's nothing more than the equivalent of a gang sign or a Nazi salute being thrown up by members of either party to signify membership. You feel me? Now, I know some of y'all like, he might be reaching. You don't believe me? Take a look at the new design on the majority of car companies now. Do you notice anything similar about the front grills on most new cars? The front grill facet. From Cadillac to Honda, bro, you will see an influx of the new V design engraven into the front grill facet of most automobiles. But what significance, if any, could car companies play in the part of the Illuminati grand scheme, you wonder? Well, check this out. Think about this. Car loan debt has reached an all-time high. The average household pays nearly $500 to $600 for one car. Not to mention, or to include, co-parented households who usually have to have two cars. Nor does this include the cost of insurance, repairs, daily maintenance, gas, oil changes, all that. You gotta have your car run right. Now, most car companies are even subtracting the option to buy a sedan-style automobile. Before, when you went into the car lot, you had the option of what you needed in the automobile. You bought the car that best suited your needs, right? With options in different packages. If you wanted more, hey, here's this. If you want a little bit less, we got this too. Now, Can you imagine going to the dealership and not even having the option of what you want in a vehicle? Or, even worse, y'all, not even having the option of choosing a car. Instead, you have to pick an SUV or a truck. Yeah, most car companies are going straight to an SUV style vehicle or large trucks, meaning the average loan, feel me on this, the average loan for our car will be somewhere around a 10-year lease. Let me reiterate that. The average loan for a car will be somewhere around a 10-year lease. 10 years for one vehicle? Can you picture the interest rates? They're going to be astronomical. That alone will be enough to put you in debt. That will put an extreme burden on the average household who may not even need an SUV or a truck. These are the type of issues that cause financial collapse. The car companies don't sell, people can't buy because they're already in over their heads, which in turn causes the economy to take a hit. Before you know it, we are back in another recession, which further degrades the economy because now jobs have to start downsizing from sales being down. It can cause a company to completely go out of business or have to sell to a competitor, which is how a lot of brands that were once in competition with one another are now owned by the same entity. And it's the same handful of people that maintain the majority sharehold over the world. You sit back and you look at some of these designer brands or these major brands and you think that, they're competing with one another. No, most of these are owned by one person. Gucci, Burberry, all those. You go look at how many of those labels are owned by different people. And I guarantee you'll be surprised to find out one person owns a lot of those brands. But maybe I'm going a little bit off the chain. Maybe I'm not giving the benefit of the doubt where it's due. So let's give some of these people the benefit of the doubt because I don't think everybody's has ill intentions or ill will. So let's again go back to what I stated previously. Fighting the Illuminati is an uphill battle. Most do not win, which could be the reason we don't see some of the car brands we used to see. For example, Saturn, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Mercury, Suzuki, Plymouth. Y'all might have forgot about some of those. Now, most of these were affordable brands that companies used for buyers who didn't need the luxury, but still wanted, something nice to drive. These lower priced brands may have been discontinued as companies were told either, hear me out, make more expensive cars or give buyers less options to choose from and funnel them into buying something outside of their means. If you do not do this, if you do not follow this trend, we will hit you with recalls that will slander your reputation or tariffs on the type of parts you use and make them cost more so you have no choice but to price high. Now, I understand the world changes as well as consumer needs, but studies have shown even most truck and SUV owners think their car costs too much or they didn't get enough bang for their buck. So why would they limit options to only overpriced vehicles that most people don't need? Why take away the option of a lower class car sedan style, maybe without all the flashy technology, especially for young first time buyers? We know this is where a lot of people end up going into debt. Cars depreciate as soon as it's sold. As soon as it's driven off the lot, it's depreciated. As soon as it's considered sold, now it's a used car. But understand this, people. These people spend money to understand exactly how you think and even program you to continue thinking in a certain manner. Think about it like this. They know your car is a sub-reflection for most of your status in life, meaning when you see a person in a Mercedes, you automatically assume they're well off. Whereas you see somebody in what we call a bucket, again, you automatically associate that with their social status. Major corporations know these things. They're not dumb. They prey upon us with it. Rarely do they have your best interests in mind. Even if they know this will put you in major debt or it's beyond your means, they will still make every attempt to put you in a car that does not best suit you or your situation. This is the reason the Lord tells us do not be a part of this world. We become so obsessed, y'all, with our social status that we begin to forget who we are and why we are here. We let money rule us because we want to portray this image of a big baller or a big money spender. The Lord says it's easier to pass a camel through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the gates of heaven. Now, me personally, y'all, I do believe this verse to be a little bit taken out of context. And the way I perceive it is basically like this. Having money is not wrong, and even being rich is not a sin. If being rich was a sin, God wouldn't have made his humble servant, Job, a rich man twice. Like anything else in this world, the Lord doesn't want you to worship money. He doesn't want you to depend on money. He doesn't want you to think that money's going to get you through every situation. He wants you to depend on him, not money. So if you made the right choices in life and you are well off for it, and most people that have made those choices do give thanks to God, I can't picture that being a sin unless you are putting money above God. You can't love money. For one, it doesn't love you back. For two, it's basically the same as worshiping a false idol. If you love something more than the Most High, you'll do anything for it, right? I mean, kill even. For three, it's an inanimate object that was given value by man, same as diamonds and gold. Now, excuse me, I've digressed a bit, but I felt the need to stress that. Recognize the signs and symbolisms around you. Don't become so complacent to believe that not any or everything is vulnerable. Look at the position these major car companies were put in. In the early 2000s, these billionaires had to be bailed out of a financial collapse, basically, by other billionaires. Do you really think they don't owe somebody something? Do you truly believe they would go broke rather than join an organization who, for the most part, controls the world? I mean, some of us have a hard time not jumping on the bandwagon of a professional team that's hot and winning. So, I mean, can you really blame these people in thinking the way that they do? I dare not think what some of us would do with our livelihood on the line. That's just human. All I'm saying is be aware of what's going on around you. Open your eyes and don't succumb to the peer pressure of others' validation and end up in a position or a place you don't want to be in. I'm telling y'all now, open your eyes. It's out there. Don't be a part of this world. I love y'all. This your boy Archie. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'm out, y'all. Peace.
Thank you for watching Up TV. If you like this video and would love to see more, check out these great videos here. And don't forget to subscribe to Up TV and Up TV 2 for even more great videos.